Welcome back everybody to another Kinstretch mobility sequence. In today's sequence, we're going to be focusing on two positions. We're going to be working on the deep lunge stretch, and then we're going to be going into collapsed half kneeling. The emphasis of today's class is going to be hip flexions. Expect to work really hard. We're going to be challenging both your active hip flexion in a shortened position as well as challenging your hip extensors in a very lengthened position, which is why we're using these the lunge position and the half kneeling. So let's jump right into it, okay? By the way, if you have a block, keep it handy because you can use it for support. If I need to ask you to regress it, or if you need to kind of back off the intensity a little bit, you can use this for to do that, right? So I'm just going to keep this to the side, but let's get started. So we're going to get into the deep lunge stretch to begin. So I'm going to show you this from two angles. The first one, I'm simply going to go on all fours. My hands are under my shoulders, okay? And I'm going to start with my left side. So take your left foot and bring it to the outside of your left hand, okay? So notice my hands are under my shoulders, so they're kind of narrow, and my foot is out here. You don't want to be too far wide. Bring your foot just outside of your left hand, and you can let your knee kind of shimmy and move around a little bit. So now I'm going to show you from this position here, okay? Quadruped. Get that left foot out to the left hand, and then you're going to take your right leg and just slide it back, okay? So from here, we are simply just going to kind of move around, find the stretch that you want. Now, you can relax, and the further you bring your chest down, the more difficult or the deeper the stretch is going to be, okay? So you might start here in the beginning, you might finish down here at the end. So we're going to take 10 deep breaths together, and every exhale, you can just relax a little deeper. Use your hands for support. Ready? Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. In. Out. Halfway there, let's go 5 more. Inhale. Exhale. You don't have to go down all the way, you just stay where you're comfortable. Inhale. Exhale. Last 3. In. Out. In. Out. And last one, inhale. And exhale. Nice. Okay, so we're going to work a passive range hold in this position. I'm just going to flip, face the camera, but you're going to try and stay in this stretch here. So I'm back in this quadruped position, right? I'm sliding my right leg back, my left leg is in front, so I'm working my left hip. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a passive range hold in this position. So basically, I'm going to keep my hands where they are for support. You don't want to do this in range. It's going to be very, very difficult to start, but if you can handle it, go for it. But you're going to start by simply keeping your hands where you're comfortable, torso a little bit more vertical, and then all you're going to try and do is keep your foot flat as you try and hover your hands, okay? We're going to do 3 reps, 10-second isometrics. So we're going to hold that for 10 seconds. Our goal is to resist our torso from falling. So we have to push into the floor with this hip, with this foot, and that's going to prevent us from collapsing, okay? That's why I say passive range hold. We are going to challenge all of these tissues that are lengthened right now. Here we go. Ready? And hover your hands. Hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. If that was too difficult, you can keep your hands on the ground. Just try and minimize the support by using your fingertips, 1 finger at a time, and use your hands if you're losing balance, totally fine, okay? That's 1 rep. We're gonna go 2 more. Here we go. If you can, go a little deeper. And from here, we're gonna try and hover the hands. Ready, and go. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. Take a breather here. We're gonna go one last repetition. This is not easy, okay? Okay, here we go. Last one. Ready. And hover, hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Very, very nice job. Okay, so we just did a deep lunge passive stretch, went into the passive range hold. We are about to do an isometric movement path. So we're gonna transition into the next deep lunge stretch, but we're gonna do a little transition here, and I'm gonna show you how to do that. So I'm just gonna flip so you can see what I'm about to do. Okay, so I'm gonna get back in this stretch here. And from here, so let's say we're still in this deep lunge stretch to the left. What I'm gonna do is, you can use your hands, by the way, but I'm just gonna show you with the hands how it looks. I'm going to lift my back knee. I'm gonna pivot my right hip, and I'm gonna slowly transition from this Cossack squat. I'm gonna stay low. Notice how I'm using my hands. And then I'm gonna pivot, and boom, we are in the next deep lunge stretch. Okay, let's do this together. I'm going to do this with no hands. This is not gonna be easy for me, but I kinda wanna challenge myself today. You can follow along, but I encourage you to use your hands as needed, okay? Ready? So hands are gonna come up for me, or keep them on the ground. Let's slowly lift that back knee off the ground. Pivot that foot. Pivot the left and slowly transition through this. Stay low if you can. Pivot to the right. Drop the knee. And down. We are in the next lunge stretch. Beautiful. And we're gonna repeat. So we're gonna go 10 breaths. Same thing, make sure you relax. Ready? Let's go in and out. 1, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Halfway there, 5 more. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. You can move around here as you exhale, in and out. Last 2, in, out. Last one, inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Okay, that was 10 breaths. We are gonna go back into that passive range hold. I'm gonna flip over so you can see me again. So same thing, I'm still in this deep lunge. My hands are in front. Okay, so I'm a little bit wide here. You can keep your hands in front like this. Whatever makes you comfortable. You can let this knee fall out to the side. I don't think you should try and keep it too tight here, but honestly, as whatever allows you to really hover the hands. Okay, here we go. Ready? 3 repetitions, 10-second hold, and we're gonna begin. Ready, and lift, hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. 2 more repetitions. Here we go. Ready? Set. And lift. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful. Take a breather. And we're gonna go 1 more repetition, 10-second hold, okay? Here we go. Ready? Get lower if you can, and hover, hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Ooh, that was rough. Nice job. So we did passive range stretch, passive stretch, right? And then did this passive range hold, okay? So we're gonna come back into the next lunge stretch again, because we're gonna do that same transition I just showed you guys. So same thing as before, you can use your hands or you can use no hands. Same transition, let's slowly lift that back knee off the ground. So we are in this active deep lunge. You can keep your hands off, pivot that back foot, slowly transition, deep, stay close to the floor, transition, and down. And we are back in the deep lunge stretch we started in, except this time we're gonna come back into what's called a collapsed half kneeling. So just to review, deep lunge, we were in this hip extended position on the bottom leg, right? Now we are gonna keep our back femur perpendicular to the floor, or you can think of it as parallel to my front shin, but I'm gonna keep my hands on the floor. So I'm gonna flip this real quick. I'm gonna grab my block. Keep your left foot next to your hand, okay? I'm gonna show you what's happening here. And notice, right, left shin parallel to my back thigh. I am in this collapsed half kneeling position. You can take this block and put it right under your chest and put both your hands on top of it. So if you look, both my hands are here, right, next to this block. And from here, we are gonna do a passive range lift off. So we are still in hip flexion. Instead of contracting all this lengthened tissue, we're now gonna contract all of this regressive shortened tissue, okay? Including the abdomen a little bit. What I need you to do is press the block into the ground, and from here, we're gonna try and lift this foot a millimeter off the floor, okay? We're gonna go 3 repetitions, 10-second hold, just like we just did. And here we go, okay? So block is under the hands. Hands are palming the block. If you need to, make it easier by bringing the block higher, but try and keep it flat. If you want to make it tougher, take the block out, keep the hands on the floor. But I'm not there yet, so I'm gonna use the block. Ready, set, and lift. Hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Whew. It's not easy because it requires a lot of core too. So we really got to press into this block. It helps to round the back as well. Okay, so you really got to push through. 2 more repetitions. Here we go. Ready? And lift. Hold. 10, 9. Drive that knee up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. If you want to make this tougher, don't let this foot, as you lift, kind of get under your knee, right? Keep the foot or the heel in line with this knee. I noticed I was compensating or cheating there a little bit, so I'm going to try and correct myself here, okay? Here we go, last repetition. Ready? And lift, hold. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Ooh. We're gonna switch now, okay? We're almost there. I'm gonna move, stay where you are, because we are gonna do the same exact transition that we did. Okay, since we're here in this collapsed 90, let's get back into the deep lunge. And I think you know the drill by this point. Isometric movement path into the next deep lunge, okay? I'm not using hands. You can use your hands on the floor. Ready? Dig that back foot. Hover that right knee up. Slowly pivot that back hip. Get into this Cossack. Transition, stay low. Stay low. Pivot. Drop that left knee. Hands come down. And we are in the next collapsed 90-90. Nice. Okay, so I'm coming here. Sorry, collapsed half kneeling. Taking the block, putting it right there under my chest, just like I was in my last rep. Okay. And from here, I'm actually just gonna flip so you can see, stay where you are. So same thing, we are still with the right hip, okay? So right shin parallel to my left thigh, okay? Block under my chest. I'm palming this block, and we are gonna do a passive range lift off, going into hip flexion. So lift the knee, bring the foot off the ground. Ready? 3 reps, 10-second holds. Here we go. And lift, hold. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. 2 more, almost there. After this, we just do one last transition to balance out the movement paths, and then we are all set, okay? Here we go. Ready? And lift, hold, keep that heel under the knee. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Holy smokes, I'm sweating. Whew. Okay. One more repetition. Take a big breath in. Exhale. Last one. Here we go. Ready? And lift. Hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, so we are done with that stuff. Here we go. This is going to be the last transition. I'm going to flip so you can see me here. Stay where you are. Okay, so we are here in this deep lunge again, so slide that left leg back. Okay, here we go. Hands come off the ground, or they stay, whatever works for you. Mine are coming off. I'm going into a deep lunge. I'm lifting my left knee off the ground. I'm pivoting my left hip. I'm staying low. In this Cossack, I transition low, as low as I can. Straighten my back leg, pivot left. Right knee, ooh, I could have controlled that. Here we go. Right knee drops down. Hands come down. And that concludes this Kinstretch mobility sequence. All right, people. Hopefully you worked as hard as I did. I know I'm sweating bullets doing this. Okay, let's recap. So we did deep lunge stretch to begin. In there, we did the passive stretch, 10 breaths. We did the passive range hold. Did the transition, which hopefully you used your hands. If you were really good, you didn't, right? Went into the same thing for the opposite hip, and then that's when we did the same transition before we moved on to the half kneeling, the collapsed half kneeling. What's good about this sequence is we targeted both sides of the hip, both the hip flexors and the hip extensors. So the hip flexors we challenged in a very shortened position. The hip extensors by doing the passive range hold as well as the transitions, right? We really challenged the hip extensors in a very lengthened position. So you might be a little sore. Try not to repeat this for another maybe a day or two until you're healed. Or if you feel good, go for it, right? I know I'm definitely gonna be sore from this one. Listen to your body, and then I'll see you next time. Peace.